It's a public holiday for everyone and a great excuse for a party. Over the last few weeks, we've been asking you for your recollections of that day.
Yes, and lots of you responded. So Callum Watkinson takes a look now at some Midlands Coronation memories.
It was the first major public event to be televised. The modern young Queen insisted on having the cameras there, overruling her ageing Victorian Prime Minister, who was against the idea. For the first time that year, more TV sets were sold in Britain than radios, the Coronation thought to be the reason, and the RAF flew film across to Canada so audiences there could watch the same day. But for millions of Midlanders, the strongest memories of that day come not from TV images beamed from London, but from community parties held on streets and in school halls across the region. Fancy dress and trifle for the children, a public holiday for their parents. Rain across much of the country having little effect on the festive mood. Town centre decorations in Shrewsbury would have drained the colour from the faces of today's health and safety spoil sports, and they held their own version of the coronation procession. They did the same in the small village of Brownlees in Staffordshire. A milkman's float as coronation carriage, a 4-year-old girl as queen. 60 years on, the perfect day for a stroll down memory lane.
We didn't dare to move because the cart went up and down and it was a bit rockety. As we were going around the procession, more and more people were joining us and it was getting more and more of an atmosphere and people were waving. It was really a lovely, lovely time.
The dress was by seamstress Auntie Glennie, the material acquired by pooling the village's clothing coupons at a time when fabric was still rationed.
It was white and there were about 3 layers, I think, of one on top of another. I had a blue sash, which was supposed to be the Order of the Garter. And I was allowed to wear my mum's pearls, which my dad had given her on their wedding day. I remember standing on the table and Auntie Glennie doing all the rushing at the bottom, and it had to be perfect. She was a perfectionist. And I stood there for ages and ages, and I just felt like a princess.
A lot of sewing involved, a lot of measuring involved, and getting Gillian to stand still. Gillian asked me who made the robe, and the robe was mine from when I was 13. And then my niece, wore it. It's lovely.
The Midlands' other Bob Warman was 9 at the time. In a dwelling slightly more modest than that of his namesake, he doesn't have room for much. But a group photograph from a street party in Catshill in Worcestershire still takes pride of place.
After the pictures, we went and had a street party, and there was tables all the way down the street, and we all thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. All the kids had plenty of fun, and we sang God Save the Queen. We had a great time.
Her Majesty's own memories no doubt came flooding back today as she returned to the Abbey where she was crowned for the official anniversary service. 60 years may have passed, but that day remains a treasured one for many of her subjects who celebrated with her. Callum Watkinson, ITV News.